Earlier tonight we saw GP2 take to the track, and tonight we're about to see Premier get into their cars and show what they can do. My name is JB and welcome back to SpeedForce Racing. I'm not alone tonight though, I have a guest commentator in. It's AJ, everybody, and I got his name right this time.
Hey, how you doing?
I mean, did I get your name right? Is it Mr. Bentley or what?
Nah, AJ.
It's AJ. I'll be calling him Mr. Bentley for the rest of the stream. Anywho, so let's run through the championship order. We have Orchard David in championship leading position after a strong start, but still no win in his championship. Then Sayuza, the race 1 winner, in P2 in the championship after not starting in Bahrain and China and having a 5th in Baku, still in P2, which is good. Hamilton in P3 though, Sayuza's teammate close behind him after having a 4th and a 2nd is only 5 points off Sayuza and 13 points off Orchard David. Then it's Chopper in P4, who's having a good season so far, hoping to bounce back from the DNF he had in Baku. There's Mark, who won in China. He's having a good time. China, that's actually the first race you commented on, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Yeah. And then there's Vulcan in P6. He's gonna try and bounce back after not starting the last 2 races. If he's here tonight, I don't think he's here tonight. Or there's Honey Badger in P7. He's having a good time. Hopefully he's here tonight with us. And Nikos in P8. Orchard Socks, the other flower, is in P9. He's hoping to. I think he's here tonight. I should hope he's here tonight. Lots of drivers missing tonight, if you can't tell.
Yeah.
So he is here. Good. Carlos GB is here as per normal. He's up in. He's ready to go for his Ferrari days, and he's in P10. Then it's the Gort in P11, and Threaten has actually moved down to GP2, so he's not involved in this. So is Vanquish not in here. Terra Martin is meant to be in the Force India with Maxilius. That is the coolest name in the world. Is in P15. These guys haven't scored points. Lonnie is in P16. N8. What's his name? NR83, the American driver who was on for a podium in Baku, who unfortunately crashed out, wasn't able to continue, is in 17th, and Jay is in 18th. But I'm not sure what's happening with all of that. So, here we are. The Premier Division. The big boys. How many other words I can say in under 5 seconds?
Yep.
We do have a reserve in tonight. From what I know, we only have 1 reserve in tonight, and that is, who do we think he's in the Williams? It's Zippo. Zippo has joined us, and he's questioned why he does that to himself all the time. He likes to come over to question what he does to himself and all of that. What's it called? What he does to himself while he comes into Premier. I think he's just to fill the grid as well, but he quite enjoys driving here anyway.
Yeah, I think he likes to compete against each of the different guys and see what both the groups contend with. So yeah, no, it's always good to see what he's up against, and maybe if he doesn't make any of the mistake that he made in the first group, then maybe he'll have a better little race than he did.
Yep, let's hope so. I will make everyone very aware right now. I am prone to making awful dad jokes tonight, and one of my earphones is currently not working on my headset, so I can only hear AJ through one ear, which is going to get very distracting. I'm probably going to be listening lopsided all night tonight.
Yeah, and I'm coughing a lot.
Yeah, AJ's got the plague. I can't hear out of one ear. We're destroyed. Let's go for commentary. There's one.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh dearie me. Anywho, we're a mess over here. We come from the GP2 commentary box. They have like flies and boxes in there of like old magazines, which are all disgusting. And then we come over to the posh one with the nice leather chairs, the vibrating chairs. It's not helping AJ's cough at all, but at the same time, it's very comfy in here. And we've got lights in here.
Yeah, we've got some drugs over here. I'm taking drugs. I mean,
medicinal ones, obviously.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh wow. Okay, so we're heading over to qualifying here. I've got people down in the what's it called, people in the pit lane. One in Sauber who's going to send me a message about the weather. Probably someone Williams as well. Lee Nell will not be racing in this race. He will be pulling out after lap 1. He's just hosting the lobby and he'll be off doing something else. Hello to everyone who's here to have a look at this. And we have Ricky giving him his giving the what's it called, the prediction for it. He's saying that he wants that Mark will get pole and Sayuza will be second. And Zippo, who's commenting about the connection with Premier, saying it's 50 Shades of Red in here. The obviously reference title to 50 Shades of definitely not grey, because that book series is horrific and there's better stuff on the internet. Shh, I didn't say that. You hear my mum banging his door. It's a love story! It's not. Hey, my earphone's back.
Oh, that's good.
I can hear again. You can tell we're very happy by the fact that we're both having laughs about an earphone popping back in.
Yeah.
SpeedForce Racing providing you. Zippo's now questioning our vibrating chairs.
Yeah, can we get on with the racing now?
Yes, we can. 50 Shades of Red is out of the question as we're sitting here and getting ready for Premier. So 18 minutes of qualifying, and I can hear out of both ears. And these are the drivers we have in tonight. Jay, the Gort, Fisherman Netherlands, Honey Badger, Orchard Sox, Invader Zippo, who's a reserve driver, Orchard David, Lee Nell, who is not going to be racing, he'll just be competing the first lap, pulling into pit lane as he is hosting the lobby, Carlos GB, Nikos, Mark NFUFC 21, don't make me say that again, Chopper, NR8888NR, still want to know what that means, Hamilton, Sayuza, and Maxilius Drama. I love that name.
Yeah, it's NUFC, just so you know.
Oh,
Newcastle United.
You're football fans, a whole lot of you. So here's Jay coming out on track. Jay and his teammate Honey Badger, and then there's Maxilius in the background. He's the only Force India. That's all I know. It might be a Fisherman as well. Oh, Ricky, that's a bit mean, mate. I've been told there's dry sessions in both sessions by one. Shall we see if we get a message about it? Yeah, dry race and dry qualifying. So dry for both, everything's good, and the hood. I'm getting messages all over the shop. So Jay's the first man on track. Then it is Honey Badger. Honey Badger. Wow, getting very close. Honey Badger going, no, I want to be the first man on track. That's not the way a team is run, Tom. But you know.
The Toro Rosso's just in procession at the minute with each other.
They'll be breaking up as I knock over my Darth Revan figure, which I bought. You don't know who Darth Revan is, and you really haven't seen the best Star Wars games.
No, I don't.
You're not a Star Wars fan?
You know, I'll watch it. I think that's the most I go to.
Right, just a quick thing, Ricky. I believe, mate, you said your piece on Hamilton. Time to hold that back, mate. We don't do driver bashing here. Anywho, so Honey Badger is about to start his lap now. This is his first laps in Toro Rosso Honda for a while in this series. I think he missed out, or he crashed out. Yeah, he was the first crash out in Baku, but now he starts his lap in Spain to try and make up for it. Jay's in the pit lane, so I think Netherlands Fisherman, not racing. Yeah, I will name him Fishing Team Netherlands now as a reference to the World Endurance Team. Is now the next driver on track. But anyway. I was going to say something completely there, and I can't remember what I was going to say. But anyway, Honey Badger is continuing on, and that's an engine glitch. Oh, thank you, Codemasters. And the first guy around the track. So, Honey Badger is pushing his hardest. It seems to be an okay lap right now. We haven't got the tyres up. I do apologise. I just realised that. As discovered in the first session we had here in SpeedForce Racing in the GP2 race, the the Superstar tyres were not the tyres to go with, though many drivers in here deciding that is the tyres they want to go on. The Superstar tyres died out after 4 laps after qualifying, 5 laps if they were outside of the top 10, but still 16 drivers going nuts. Sector 1 and 2 yellow flags, not sure what that is. It seems yellow flags have been a bit broken since the last update in this game for the spectators. Hello, we're spectating.
Yeah, cleared that very quickly, but it seems like it's come back. It's gone again, yeah. I don't know what's going on. So
Honey Badger completes his lap now. No, he's pulled out of it. So
he's just completely pulled out of it. I don't know
so
why
that's a
he did
one. Yeah, so's Fisherman. He's pulled out of the lap as well. Just hope there's no one behind him.
So he's having a go on the super soft tyres. He's probably backed out of it to mean that he's going to have another lap on the soft tyres, see if he can go quicker than that.
So Mark is our first driver on the soft tyres to set an absolutely representative time, a 1:23.1.
Oh wow, 1:16.9 from Mixerless Drama.
Look at that. That's a brilliant. Let's have a look at Mixerless. Not a pink helmet. I was really hoping for a pink helmet there. Why can't they just get it to match the helmet? But Hamilton, a 1:17.9. Already these times showing why they are quicker than GP2. The American driver of NR88 having a good time. Carlos GB obliterating competition in his Ferrari, though, going for a 1:17.6, but nothing is touching Mixerless yet. Sector 1, yellow flags. I think there's just someone letting it through. Lots of people supporting new drivers. Welcome to the stream. If this is your first stream of SpeedForce Racing, my name is JB. Hello, and this is AJ. I tied him round and took him from the GP2 commentary box.
Yeah, I think in terms of CSR Hamilton, I think he's just done a exciting lap at the minute. I think he will go on the soft tyres also, as well as Honey Badger, and do another lap.
He definitely will be, and I'm on board with Orchard Socks now, but he has a Ferrari. I think that's Carlos following him. Carlos has obviously done one lap. Sector 3, lots of yellow flags. I think this driver's getting out of the way at this point. I'm not sure. As I mentioned earlier, I'm not sure what's happened with the yellow flags in this game since today's update. They seem to be a bit squiffy, so we don't know what's happening. So we're on board with Socks right now. He's trailing David, who is their teammates at the Sauber. These two coordinating themselves very well, knowing what they're doing. Last time in China, they were having when AJ was here, they were having a bit of a battle in commentary, weren't they? In the qualifying, weren't they?
Yeah, they couldn't decide who was going to go first and who was going to go second, but they seem to have sorted themselves out before the end of the session and got a couple of laps in.
Definitely would be. Now, Socks has not had the cleanest final sector, not in the slightest, but he still qualifies and goes for a P9, just slower than his teammate. But look at that, there's quite a distance between everyone. Obviously, Honey Badger pulled out of his lap. We don't know what his lap would have been. Where Sayuza's into the pit lane himself. So the championship leader, who is Orchard David himself, is down in P8. Let's have a look at him. There he is. Hello. And Honey Badger still... Is he? Yeah, Honey Badger now coming around to actually set a representative time now on his engine failing Toro Rosso DRS open. No, he's not. What is he doing? Why? Okay. You're a competent driver versus me. I'm Jolyon Palmer in any league now. You're a competent... Would you ever have done that yourself?
I think the only reason that I would have done that is maybe because of the fact that I thought I could go faster on the soft tyres. But to come back out and do another lap on the super soft, I am a bit puzzled by that as well. So you're not the only one in that situation. But Honey Badger is currently in 5th, a respectable time. But I feel like he can go faster, to be honest.
Most definitely. Now that is a name I've not seen in a long time. Valdemar, who has I actually used to race against him in Front Row Racing back when that league used to exist. He probably doesn't even remember me. He lapped me on my first time racing, actually. I remember that. It was the most terrifying experience of being lapped by Valdemar himself. To be fair, Orchard David is a championship leader from the information I was given. He was given currently he's been the more consistent driver since his joining the league in Bahrain. He's and we've had a few dropouts of the drivers.
I don't know what the Orchards are doing. They're going side by side down the pit lane.
Oh, they're just having a bit of fun. Oh, Fisherman Netherlands has just put a message in chat. He just realised he got 35 laps of fuel in his car. So that's not the ideal run you want to run for Force India. They're definitely going for long runs in qualifying now, aren't they?
Going for a race sim in the qualifying session.
What? Who's just sat? What? Sorry, is there someone just sat on the main straight for you? Have they disappeared? I'm very confused.
Not what I can feel.
Here's Nikos now crossing the line now, and he does a 1:99, which puts him nowhere because it was invalidated. Yes, lots of people joining us in the chat. Hello, welcome to SpeedForce, welcome to the chat, welcome to me and AJ talking absolute rubbish for the rest of our lives. Too wide into the pit, says Ultra Socks. Yes, Brendan Lee, you are always in the pits. Where is Mark? We haven't seen him. He won in China. He seems to be having a good time out right now. He's in P6, having a good time.
Yeah, he set that lap on a set of soft tyres, but now he's gone for the super soft tyres. So let's see if he can go any faster on those. He
It's
should do. The
interesting.
Delta's quicker. So.
It's interesting. All of these drivers going for the tyres that didn't work in GP2. So
Yeah, totally.
it should be interesting to see what they can do. Mark now crosses the line and goes first by quite a margin. Look at that.
1:16.1 is a very quick time.
All right, so he's just started a lap, but let's go on, Mixilius. If you could take us through a lap, AJ, because you're a competent driver versus me.
Where is he?
B2.
Oh yeah, he's second. Yeah, so straight down the straight, we're going hard into the first and second corners. He got very wide on the entrance of the T1 and very wide on the exit to T2. All the way around the sweeping hander of turn 3. Braking hard into turn 4, you want to keep narrow and then run out wide at the end of it, all the way out to the white line, and then hard down into turn 5, all the way out to the AstroTurf, missing Orchard David to the left there, and then keeping a small line into there, and then maximising it all the way out up into the long right-hander, all the way out just on the AstroTurf, just nearly over onto the gravel there. Braking hard down into the hairpin and then up through the left-hander. You want to be careful on that corner. The back end can shoot out very easily. And then round the right-hander, you just got to be patient, let the car come around to you. And he's just overcooked it a little bit on those sausage curves, which is very easy to do. And he's given himself a horrible exit, and he dives back into the pit. Ooh, and gets very close to the wall as well.
So that's that lap abandoned from Mixilius. A few people commenting in the chat now. Lots of questions being sent to us. Where do you expect Hamilton to finish? Well, if Hamilton stays out of trouble right now, he's looking at 5th, so I can't really comment. I reckon 5th or 6th is quite achievable right now. But again, yes, another question. Lots of people saying that the supers do last only 5 laps, and yes, we have measured it in the previous race that we commented on about 10 minutes ago. They are horrific tyres to try and race on. So right now, the alternate strategy of the soft tyres to the medium tyres seemed to work the best, didn't it, in that race, in the GP2 race?
Yeah,
I tell you what,
that's the best strategy in my opinion.
Someone who's got that idea is Sayuza, the race 1 winner, who is in the Mercedes, is having a good time out. He's wanting to push his absolute hardest. The number 98 car, Pascal Wehrlein. No, not Pascal Wehrlein's name. He's number 94, isn't he? Recently signed by Mahindra in Formula E. We'll get into that later on. There's 16 cars still qualifying here in Spain. Crossing the line now, Sayuza goes P3 on the soft tyres. That's monstrous speed there, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. 116s in 116s on the soft tyre is a very good time, definitely. I mean, the guys in front of him are on the super soft, and they're doing just quicker times than him. So yeah, they're very good times from Sayuza there.
Some people do apologise me. Do apologise there. I've got AJ's cough. No, I had to mute my mic over, so I was coughing out. Right now, we're watching the Saubers go nuts. This needs to be rectified by the stewards, actually, because apparently there's reports that the Sauber was sat in the middle of a start-finish straight. So not sure what's happened, to be honest. Lots of people having a talk, and the Saubers once again going nuts about driving. Guys, please calm down. You don't want to do this. Remember, Orchard David is championship leader, though he's done in P11. He's been very consistent. It should be interesting to see if he can improve on his championship lead tonight. His closest rival is Sayuza and what's his name? And Hamilton, who are both higher up in qualifying than him right now. Sayuza putting it a bit late now. Yeah, we got people reporting about the footage. The people saying that that is causing people time in their laps with the fact that he's on the Sauber on the straight. I'm not sure how that will be handled. If you just send it into the stewards, if you got any problem with it, and that will obviously be sorted out.
Yeah, no, I'm a bit confused about what the Orchards are doing right now. But,
yeah. There's a lot of theories in the chat right now saying that they're going to slipstream each other. To be fair to everyone in the chat, we don't know, and we commentate over them.
Yeah, and also they're going down side by side down the pit lane again. So yeah, Very
At least
weird.
they're having fun.
Yeah, that's true.
So 4 minutes left to go in the session. Right now we have Mark on pole position ahead of Mixus. Then Mixilius sounds better. Sayuza in P3, Carlos GB in P4, and NR88 in P5. Hamilton in P6, Fisherman Netherlands in P7, Zippo in P8, the reserve driver, Honey Badger in P9, Orchard Sox in P10, Orchard David in P11, just outside the top 10. Jay, who we're looking at right now, in P12, the Gort in P13, Linel, who will not be doing a lap due to the fact that he is not actually racing tonight, he is hosting the lobby, Nikos in P15th, and Chopper in P16th. Chopper just not having the best chance right now.
Yeah, the Gort and Jay both looking to set laps now. They haven't been out yet, and they've both come out on the soft tyres, so they're looking to optimise their strategy for the race rather than getting the quickest time in qualifying.
We've had a request to watch Jay. You know what? Because but we got Jay with an engine glitch. But you know what? We'll watch Jay for his lap and we'll just critique his lap. The car number 4 is now going to push down.
Yeah, definitely. Let's look at how he does. A bit harder to get around the corners on the soft tyre, less grip than the super soft. Into the edge of that corner quite well. We stay flat. Now lifting a bit through turn 3. He backed out.
That wasn't the best lap, and he's way offline right now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's backed out.
Yeah, I think we will go back to Jay when he does a more representative lap. Here is the Gort, who is pushing hard. He's on a 21, sorry, in the second sector. As you hear, Mr. Bentley in the corner dying. You want to know why I call him Mr. Bentley? You have to ask a question, and I will answer it. Why you call him Mr. Bentley? You'll also answer any question to do with my body, except for the fact that how big my toes are, because I haven't measured them recently. So the Gort crosses the line now, and he goes P7, which is a good lap from the man on the soft tyres.
Yeah, 1:18.6 is pretty representative of what the Gort can produce. Not the quickest in qualifying, but he has incredible race pace. So he might stay in 7th now, but he'll make those places up through the race.
Definitely, and I think it's much the same with the Orchids in this league. They seem to not be the quickest in qualifying, but they have some good race speed. Where is a Fisherman Netherlands? Is he finally going to get a lap in? The Force India driver crossing the start-finish line. Now he's just started a lap now. Sector 3, more yellow flags. I think this is drivers getting out of the way. Got the Ferrari pair. It looks like Chopper's going to get a little bit of a slipstream from his teammate.
Has Mark just gone on to a lap?
I think he may have. Yes, he has.
Yeah, I think you're right, yeah.
God, engine glitch united right now. Lots of drivers with engine glitches tonight.
Absolutely pushing it.
Yeah, the first of the Red Bull drivers pushing absolutely hard. We have a minute left of the session. All of these drivers will be pushing hard to at least complete a lap and see where it puts them on whatever tyres. Top 3 on the super soft tyres have got a rude awakening when it comes to lap 4 in the race. They're going to be struggling, aren't they?
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see what the different tyre compounds and different combinations of everybody when it comes to strategy during the race.
Definitely is. And the Force India guys split by quite a margin. Fisherman down in P9 and his teammate in P2. Sector 3 yellow flag. That's the Gort. I think this is in the pit lane. Jay getting it all wrong out of the penultimate corner, getting it just right out of the second one. Where's that going to put him? He's going to go P6. Yeah, P6 for Jay. Good lap.
Coming around the last corner. Is he going to get quicker? He is. 1:15.8. Very nice lap from him.
A mental lap there from the Red Bull driver, and he knows it. Look at that. He knows it.
That was incredible. Over a second quicker than Mixless in second.
There was a car.
The corners, so he's getting out of the way, but he's completely missed the last corner. I think he's just invalidated his lap.
Okay, this will be investigated by the stewards. What I'm looking at right now is NR83, sorry, sat in the middle of a straight with a broken wheel. It looks like he may have not crashed himself out, but he may have had an accident. I will have to say that will be looked at by the stewards, because that may be impacting people's laps if they're starting a lap at this point of the thing. But look at that. Orchard David, though, in P7, championship leader, seems to be having a good time.
Hamilton coming around the final corner on the soft tyres this time. Let's see what he gets. He's up to 4th, 117.0. Very nice lap.
Just behind his teammate as well. With Sayuza still having the edge.
Definitely. Sayuza starting on the soft tyres as well.
Netherlands has pulled out of it. So that, I think, is our grid. And here is Mark. He's on pole position. Used to seeing a Mark on the pole position if you're watching MotoGP. But this isn't Mark Marquez. This is Mark NF. UFC. Jesus, I hate that name. But still, he's on pole position here in Spain, and he's going to be having a good time into turn 1 ahead of Mixilius, who's the other Force India driver. What is these engine glitches? I'm sorry about not being able to use a T-cam.
Yeah, no, very nice lap from Mark. He was on board for most of that lap. He just got every corner hooked up, just absolutely attacking. The way that he was changing the gears just at the perfect time, got the perfect apexes and got the right momentum through all the corners. Absolutely deserved that lap time.
Yeah, definitely. And with a dry race looming, this is going to get very interesting. Obviously, we're just waiting for Fisherman Netherlands to retire in the pit lane. Lots of people saying that Hamilton is going to win tonight. He is in the best position that we have noticed with the tyres he's got on the car. He's in the best position, but we don't know what's going to happen to turn 1, obviously. This is going to get dicey. These guys are all close together, except for Mark. He decides to be a lot quicker in qualifying.
Yeah, so he's just less than a 10th in front of him. I think between the two Mercedes, it's going to get quite interesting as to who actually gets the better strategy call and stays on the tyre longer.
This is going to get dicey, and me and AJ will be taking you through every lap of it, one of every 33 laps. But there's the confirmation with a Briton Mark on pole position ahead of the Greek Mixilius. Then Sayuza in P3 and Hamilton in P4. Nikos in P5, Carlos GB in P6, Jay in P7, David, the championship leader, in P8, Honey Badger in P9, did seem to struggle in that race, in that lap there, and Chopper in P10. NR83 is in 11th, Fisherman Netherlands is in 12th, The Gort in P13, Orchard Sox in P14, and Dippo in P15. And obviously from 11th down, we'll have free tyre choice. Ooh. This is going to get dicey, isn't it?
It's going to be interesting, definitely, with the guys on the super soft tyre wanting to set a quicker lap time compared to the guys who are going to be slightly slower starting on the soft tyre. But I think are going to have the better strategy call in the end. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting. There's going to be lots of overtaking in those first few laps.
It definitely will be, and me and this nutcase who are tied up is going to have a good time. That's just got awkward again. I said something in the first stream. If you want to know what I said in the first stream, you're going to have to go back and watch the first stream. Go out and find it. If you can find it, DM me on YouTube saying, found it. On YouTube? No, not on YouTube. Do it on PlayStation. Just say, I found where you were awkward in the first stream and found where you were awkward in the second stream. I don't know why everyone in the world talks like this now, but they do. Anyway, the Red Bull driver takes us away now from everyone else. Going to get everything set up, and there we go. So he's having a good time. Obviously, the formation lap is a formality, but we love the formation lap in this. You get to see the cars light up their rear tyres and get moving. See the Ferrari in the background of Chopper just spear around, trying to get a good bit of momentum. And obviously, earlier in the season, Chopper was actually championship leader at one point in the season, and he has just seemed to struggled. He's had to readapt to the car. Yep, lots of comments about Honey Badger. Yep, don't forget Honey Badger is on the soft tyres himself. He's done in P9, but he's going to be there. And we saw someone go from what was it, P11 to P5 in half a sector in GP2, didn't we?
Yeah, Dad did very well to bring it home in fourth in the end, I think it was. But yeah, to come all the way up the grid on the medium tyres, Gort will be looking to do a similar strategy to that, definitely.
Yeah, as that is, mate. The formation lap does matter on this game. You have got to warm up your tyres, warm up your brakes, make sure the tyres are all in their optimal temperature. If you don't, you're in for a hard time. If you cook them too much, you're in for a hard time as well. So you don't want to pull a Nico Hulkenberg and take someone out, but at the same time, you don't want to pull anyone, because I don't think anyone's ever overheated their tyres on the grid, have they?
Well, Well, I hope you wouldn't, but it is possible, I think.
Tell you what, and obviously, as per normal, me and AJ will be talking. If there is a gap, we will talk about real life F1 and different things. We talked about how Stoffel Van Dorn has moved to Formula E and is going to be struggling to get used to the car from swapping from Formula E preseason testing to Formula One this weekend, unless they put Stoffel Lando Norris in the car, which would be great to see Lando drive a race already in the season. We talked about that, so we'll find something else to talk about. Probably helmets knowing me in this race. AJ's helmet likes to annoy me.
Yeah, no. You liked my one in the last race though.
Yeah, it looked really nice in the last race actually. It sort of like glowed really nicely.
Yeah, purple and yellow. Yeah, no, I like it.
Alrighty then, so we're going to get ready to go racing here in Spain as the lights rise, the engine notes rise. We apologise for the awful camera angle, but this is the one we got. Oh no, we got a different one now as everyone gets ready to go racing here in Spain. The lights are out now, the drivers are away now, and look at the start by Sayuza already having a good start ahead of his teammate. He's alongside his teammate, and Mixilus is dropping behind. Is it going to be 3 wide into turn 1? It's going to be. Look at the Haas in the back going 3 wide, and it's going to go wrong.
Well, the Mercedes getting caught on each other. They just managed to survive it, but it was very close.
Hamilton down to P6. Honey Badger way out wide now. Lots of drivers getting out of the thing. Honey Badger is plumb dead last. A Red Bull going down the inside. That looked like to be NR88. And lots of NR88, NR83. Orchard David now looking at the inside of Fisherman. Netherlands and Chopper getting out of the way of everything. And Netherlands out of the way. Lots of movement here on lap 1 as everyone seems to struggle for positions. The Haas now is the main target to try and get past NR. But they're all still round.
Yeah, Fisherman getting pushed out wide through turn 5. He just didn't have an answer to come back in and just ended up getting clipped on the gravel.
Almost contact between Ferrari and Mercedes, and it seems that Sayuza is absolutely tearing chunks out of his tyres to try and defend. Honey Badger dropping even further down. The Gort, though, is off, and he has crashed. But he's still going on. And that has been a dream getaway for Mark here on board with Chopper as he tries to get past Orchard David. Here on lap 1 is Mark in pole position in first place ahead of Mixilus, ahead of Sayuza, ahead of Carlos, ahead of God knows what's going to happen now because it's all going to get completely crazy.
Honey Badger in the pits, followed by Linnell and the Gort.
This is mental. But Linnell has retired. That's just down to the fact that he's not racing in this. Yeah, Mixilius is doing a great job. Safety car has been deployed, and I think that's for Linnell retiring. That is that's a bit of an overreaction if he's retired in the pit lane. Yeah, let's just get lined up to Charlie Whiting. Oh, he's surprisingly not there to talk to us about why he's deployed the safety car.
Yeah, Jake Dex is right on the back of Orchard Sox. He was getting very close to the back of him just before the safety car was brought out.
Yeah, I'm really not sure what that is. That's Linnell's car. But Lee is not driving that car, so I'm not sure what has totally happened here, but yeah, as the Gort passes Linnell's car, that car should be pulling off in a minute. Right. This will be an interesting one. Lee saying pretty fluidly, how stupid is this game, but still lap 2 here. And you know what, I was expecting us to get our first real safety car in Monaco, as I did in another league that we think. So Mark pulls into the pit lane. This is perfect for Mark, and I tell you what, everyone on super soft tyres are suddenly thinking, oh yes, this is brilliant. At the same time, oh no, this is annoying.
Yeah, Mark and Mixilus onto the mediums possibly.
Let's have a look. Yeah, mediums on the Force India.
Soft on the or is it mediums? No, it's soft on the Red Bull for Mark.
So all these drivers obviously will have 3 laps behind, but now Sayuza is up there, and they have got the biggest undercut in the world. And there he is, Mercedes picking up 1 Mercedes. Be careful. 2 Mercedes here. Remember last time 2 Mercedes had a race around Spain. It didn't exactly go well back in 2016. But look who's in P3. That's a reminder that Orchard David has got to stay in formation.
Yeah, definitely. He's worked his way through the pack quite well, starting in P8 and all the way up to P3 now. Let's see if he can capitalise on his good fortune.
Yeah. This is the strangest situation we've ever had a formation lap, a safety car in. We do apologise for all of this. We're not sure why it's exactly done a safety car, but it's a dream for Sayuza. If Sayuza can allow these tyres that he's got on to just survive just a little bit longer to eat into the medium tyres, he might be in a good position ahead of Mark, who is still in a good position to win this Grand Prix, even though he's now in P9, barring any incidents.
Yeah, the longer you can get on the soft tyre, the better it is, because of the fact that the medium tyres are that much slower. Yeah, if he can make them last a bit longer, then that's absolutely perfect for him.
So, right, on lap 3 here, we have Sayuza in first position ahead of Hamilton, ahead of David, the championship leader, ahead of SFR Chopper. Then there's Orchard Sox in P5 and Jay in P6. Then Invader Zippo in P7, the reserve driver, ahead of Fisherman Netherlands in P8. Mark in P9, our pole sitter, who is going to be charging through the field on his fresh soft tyres, and Carlos GB in P10 is the final points paying position. Outside the top 10 is Mixilius in P11 and Nikos in P12, the two Greek drivers outside the points, but I'm sure they won't be there for much longer. Honey Badger in P14, NR88 in P13, who had a pretty good opening lap but seems to struggle right now. Honey Badger, who had a terrible opening few laps, in P14, and the Gort in P15, leading the field after his accident, but he's in a good position after a crash. What is... hold on. Lots of changes under the formation, under the safety car, which should not be happening. So all these drivers should remember that you have got to respect the formation lap and not overtake. This is not rocket science, guys. So, helmets, am I right? This is very interesting to see. I wonder... I hope this isn't a safety car glitch where we're just going to be stuck behind the safety car the whole race.
Yeah, I hope not. Now, speaking of the Sauber that I'm currently looking at of Orchard David, I was listening to... Have you been listening to the Beyond the Grid podcast?
I have not. Safety car in this lap, so the lights are out in the safety car. We will get onto the Beyond the Grid. I saw that... what's it called? I saw that Charles Leclerc did it just today, and I've meant to watch that. I meant to listen to it even.
Yeah. It was very good. I really enjoyed that podcast today.
Okay, here we go. So he's just winding it up. Is he going to disappear? He's got to wait. Still waiting. Driving the cars back, wanting to get them on a good position. He's already just a little bit ahead, 6 tenths ahead of his teammate. Hamilton, will he let him win? Or will he go? He's not gone yet.
Yeah, so either can decide the speed of everybody up until the safety car line.
He's
after
gone.
That line, and he's gone for it.
Oh, big slide though. DRS has been enabled as green flags are waved. No, Invader Zippo!
Hamilton can't catch him down this straight, I don't think.
Oh, Invader Zippo's had a big spin, but everyone's having a big issue later on down in the lap.
And Orchard Sox has lost it. Mark NUFC and Fisherman are going past, as well as Carlos GB. Orchard Sox have lost out massively there.
So, something's happened here as Invader Zippo pulls into pit lane after that stint. The Williams driver, the reserve driver, pushing as hard as he can. There is Jay. Jay's closing in sector 1. There's a yellow flag. That looks to be Sox once more. Yeah, it is. Sox has had a recover cropper, so that is not good for the Sauber team. Oh, something's happening here. Toro Rosso down the inside of NR88. 83, sorry, NR88 sounds like a cooler name, but NR83 is his name. As he's pushing now side by side as they head towards... Oh, he's bunched him off just a little bit. I don't think there was any contact, but NR is going to be very grumpy about that. There might have been netcode right there.
I think NR's slightly... Oh no, it is NR. Never mind, get what I've just said.
There's Nikos and Honey Badger driving as if it's the last lap of the Grand Prix. There's the Bollard, the floppy getting moved around. You may laugh at that joke. It is very funny. So, here's Mark. He's closed up the Chopper. This man had a 1:15 lap as Chopper's made a mistake. And that is just an easy pickings there for Mark.
Yeah, just straight down the inside. Just capitalising on Chopper's unlucky kind of getting no grip off the AstroTurf on the outside of the last corner.
Chopper trying to come back, but Fisherman Netherlands has been passed by Carlos GB into the first corner. It'd be interesting to see who else pushes on for other moves. It doesn't look like anyone else is going to manage it here on board with Fisherman Netherlands as he's pushing forward. I love that name, I've got to say. I do adore saying that name. Still his teammate, and look at that, Hamilton, Sayuza has not flown away from Hamilton. They're still within it. They're still just over a second away from each other. Gonna go up to the fan favourite. Here's Jay following him as he closes up towards Chopper. He's wanting to push his hardest. People are still saying Mark will win this race, going for super soft tyres right at the end, but here is Jay trying to close to the Chopper. Is that enough? Not yet.
Yeah, Mark's done very well coming back through the field. He was quite a little bit behind before the safety, when the safety car came out due to his pit stop, but he seems to have worked his way back up very well, now behind Orchard David and battling with him third.
This will be interesting to see how much speed Mark has. Sayuza is the fastest man on track. No, it's Hamilton. No, it's Mark. Mark is the fastest man on track right now. He's getting close. I don't think he's close enough for a move yet. Orchard David pulls the inside championship leader, is pushing hard. No, here's Jay though, trying to pass the Ferrari. He's not close enough yet. He's basically on his rear wing.
Mark nearly passed him in that corner. Just so much momentum coming out the first and second bends. He's going to try it up the inside here. No, he had a little luck, but not close enough yet.
Lots of people saying it will be a Mercedes driver to win this race. More people putting the bets on the Red Bull driver. I don't want to put a bet on anything right now because I am skint as hell. But anyway, this is interesting. Here's Carlos GB trying to get past Jay once more. Back up to Mark though. Look at that.
Just getting so close. Orchard David covering off the inside line. He goes outside. Is he going to try all the way around the outside? He doesn't try to cut back. Just doesn't get the run on Orchard David. David just gets the grip out the corner.
This is madness. You see here the Red Bull driver pushing like absolute fury. He wants to pass the Sauber. The Sauber wants to retain a podium position. This should be easy pickings though now. It seems that Mark still has the pace over Orchard David. Orchard David pulling to the inside. Still on the inside. Is Mark going to go even further to the inside? He doesn't manage it. He's on the outside. Oh, he's lost the rear end. So Mixilius. Sector 3, this yellow flag. That's Sox. Orchard Sox has lost it on the start-finish straight. So, everyone is very close together, and I don't think we have a chance to breathe right now. Once again, AJ, if you see anything, just tell me to shut up. And Orchard Sox to retire from the session. Okay. We're going to go on board with Zippo just to see whether that was him crashing himself out or not, because that is illegal in this league. And that was boring right now.
Again, looking for a run at the inside. He's got DRS going down the back straight. He's got the inside line this time. Forcing David wide, but again, he just can't seem to find the grip coming out of that hairpin.
Yeah, it seems that David is just a very well-rounded defender. He knows where to go right now, and he'll obviously have Orchard Sox, his teammate, talking to him in the party right now, going, hey, look, he's closer than you. He's close now. You can tell what you're doing now. I just see Mixilius is trying to attack the other Toro Rosso of Jay, but Honeybadger is trying to get close up to everyone.
Yeah, just coming out of the final couple of corners through the chicane.
Whoa, contact! Contact between Fisherman Netherlands and Honeybadger. It seems that Netherlands just moved just a little bit too late for Honeybadger's liking. He's going to run him out wide. And look at that. Oh, I don't know if that was deemed as forcing the driver off the track. It should be interesting. They're locked wheels. But Honeybadger gives as good as he got. What was that?
Definitely giving more aggressive moves than they should. Fisherman trying to push him off the track, and then Honeybadger coming back and nearly turning him around the other way.
It seems that, you know what, I think the stewards will take the view out. They're giving as good as they got. They return the favour on track, much like Max Verstappen and Sebastian Vettel at Silverstone in 2017.
Look how close he is. He's basically on his rear wing, just about to come onto the straight, looking for the switchback.
He's done it.
Beautiful move.
He's finally done it.
This time he has indeed.
Look at that. He's been wanting to do it for a while.
He's got it. Beautiful moves, that switchback, like the hairpin. Beating all ends up.
Should be interesting to see, because Orchard David seemed to have some serious pace in a straight line, but he's ran along the curb and he can't catch up now.
And he's actually at threat from Chopper behind him, but he's got DRS, so he should be able to keep the position down the straight.
Definitely will be. Jay's into the pit lane, Vittorio Rosso getting it for the first early stop, I think non-pit lane stop. See, Netherlands and Nikos fighting. So the Dutch driver versus the Greek driver, and Nikos just running him out wide. And Netherlands seems to be able to fight, but seems to just struggle on speed after all. Jay has retired. He's had enough of this race as well. That's Zippo. I've forgotten how to use the controls. Here's Chopper.
Yeah, Chopper and N83 both coming up to the back of their respective drivers in front of them. But both getting a bit frustrated through the corners, and they can't quite find a way past them.
Sector 1 and 2 yellow flags. I'm not sure who that will be. If it might be down at Zippo. No, it's not done at Zippo. He should be seeing it though. As he comes up close, it looks to be a car on the inside. Who is that? That's Jay's car. Lots of things have changed in this update. Last time, NR88 tried to go down the inside of Netherlands. One corner where I didn't think you could even find the inside.
Yeah, they're just getting a bit too confident through those corners and just seeing a gap that was always going to close. Down the main straight now, he's got DRS. He's much closer than he was before on Fisherman.
I know, no, not okay. Not okay there.
Magnussen-esque down there.
I think that was more than Magnussen-esque. That was not okay at all.
Yeah, NR83 finding a way around the outside of T1 and making the move stick. He's up to 10th position.
Yeah.
Look at Chopper all over the back of David. Less than a tenth going through that last corner there.
And look at it, it seems these guys are able to actually follow. It's like they're running Formula E wings, so they're able to follow everyone versus in GP2, Dirty Air was just affecting everyone.
Yeah, definitely. Seems to be a bit further away from Orchard David there. I think he's having a bit of trouble down the straights due to the fact that he was running behind Mark NUFC, but this lap David shouldn't have any more DRS to use.
Sector 2 and 3 yellow flags. I'm not sure who that will be. Doesn't look like there's any times hemorrhaging anywhere. Fisherman Netherlands have left the session. I'm not sure who that was down to. David's in the pits. Okay, Fisherman Netherlands have left the session. That will be a penalty if he does not return, down to the fact that he has left the session without retiring in the pit lane.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's just a glitch out, unfortunately.
Let's hope so, at least. Here's Maxilius. Chopper's out wide. Maxilius is aiming to take the position back, but he doesn't manage it. Chopper has lost the position to his teammate, though. Just got to make sure that everyone... Go on.
Right behind them, just waiting to pick up the pieces of this fight in front of him. And then just a very small bit back from them is Nikos. Waiting to see if any scraps are given.
Definitely will be.
The inside of Chopper. Lovely move there. Chopper had no answer and Mixless takes the position from him.
Maxilius losing the back end just a little bit as Chopper tries to fight back, but Chopper's got to look behind him at Honey Badger. Honey Badger has got his crosshairs set on Ferrari, aiming to get past the man in the Ferrari, and Chopper's tyres are struggling. Whoa, that gap was not there for a moment. Oh, Chopper, that's what Chopper thought of that.
Yeah, definitely very optimistic from Honey Badger to try and go down the inside of Chopper, and Chopper saw he was coming and gave him room, but yeah, it was very cheeky from Honey Badger to try going down the inside of him.
This is a very odd race as we're looking at it now. You see, Carlos has managed, unfortunately lost the position to Mixilius, who is pushing his hardest there. He's having a good turnout though. I think this is, this is his first race of the series, and he's doing fantastic.
Look at that, from 4th all the way back to 8th. They're all within a couple of seconds of each other, all following around the track, 5 cars in a row.
Definitely are, and yet this is an opportunity where you think these guys are going to not be able to pass, but no, look at that. Here's Honey Badger on the other Ferrari now. Where's Carlos? Carlos looking to go. I've got awful camera angles, but Carlos still trying to defend. He can't go for the switchback on the Dutchman, and the Dutchman moves into P5. Jay has left the session down to the fact that he yellow flags in sector 3 because of that. Mark, no! What's happened? What?
Oh, no way. Mark's crashed.
What? I'm genuinely speechless right now. What?
Unless he's just lagged out, I don't know.
I think that's a lag out, but he was stopped in the middle of a chicane. Hold on a second, as you're hearing JB's brain break even more than it normally is. Right. Give me a moment to compose myself. So, here's Nikos. See that? It's not the wind right out of my sails. I can't make that joke anymore. Nikos is pushing his absolute hardest to try and get past Carlos GB. And he's got his eyes on the bigger team. It seems that Carlos's tyres are starting to wear. 14 laps we've done here. And now it's a great opportunity for either Mercedes driver to win this Grand Prix. Seuza, who has not won a race since Australia, the opening round of the season. As Mark is starting to drop down.
Yeah, Soyuza and Hamilton just kind of running away with it at the front. Mixler's trying to stay on the back of them, but he's 8.5 seconds behind.
Seuza into the pit lane now. So we're still on a board with Nikos now, the Greek driver, who's got his eyes set on Ferrari. I want to pass him. I don't want to join him. I want to pass him. It seems he got a much better run than Carlos out of the final corner. DRS him, and Carlos pulling to the inside very aggressively. Nikos outside now. He's ahead now, but Carlos is going to fight back on the brakes, but he decides not to. Nikos overcooking the brakes just a little bit, but still there. And he's passed him now as the Gort pits now, and Orchard David moves up into P8 and Mark into P9. I'm not sure if Mark's back in his car yet, though. So now on board with Carlos GB, the other Ferrari driver. His teammate down in P10 is trying to hunt down Mark himself. We'll see if the times keep tumbling, if that is Mark. Yeah, it looks like Mark is still not in that car. I'm not sure what is happening right now. So look at that, Mark's times are a tumbling. As the Racing Team Netherlands there, Fisherman Netherlands there, getting his Ghost car being taken out. This is why we say retire in the pit lane. If you're going to retire, you do not want Ghosts running around the track, and that is just unfortunate. As Hamilton balls into the pit lane, which will leave Maxilius in the lead as he crosses the line. Now, what's Hamilton going on? Medium tyres.
Yep. One stop to the end of the race. It's the most sensible call.
Definitely is. And there is Carlos GB as well in the pit lane, same as him. Let's have a look at Orchard David, who's closing up on the Red Bull of NR83, 83 NR. Remember, we do say do not have driver bashing in the chat. We do not do that. We're here to support the drivers. So you see Orchard David come down the inside now, pushing his hardest to try and get past NR83. The 83 car trying to hold itself around the outside. They're all side by side. NR just getting fed out, and he's not able to. Maxidius getting a time penalty though, 3-second time penalty as Mark NFUFC. Oh, I hate that name. I love Mark, but that name is long-winded. Is not able to is still out of his car by the looks of it. Let's have a look at him. Is he ghosted? Not sure, to be honest, at this point.
Yeah,
so
looks like he's ghosted.
yeah. it's very interesting. I hope he's trying to get back into the session, but he's just not able to at this point. So, double lock up there for NR83 as he tries to catch up and get back up to the Sauber and reclaim P6, but he's not able to right now as he's pushing his absolute hardest. Say User is now the fastest man on track at 120.8 on the soft tyres. Now, NR83 is trying to go through the ghost of Fisherman Netherlands. DRS Open, he's a mile back from Ultra David. I don't think he's going to be able to get past him right now. So, AJ, what are you looking at as every driver is pretty spread out here on lap 17?
So I am currently looking at the Gort. He's back in 10th at the minute. He's on the medium tyres, only done 3 laps on the medium tyres. But I think he's looking to go forward, just starting his 18th lap of the race.
That's good. How is the Gort doing in your opinion? Do you think he's going to try and improve on P10, or do you think P10 is all he can manage tonight in the first 17 laps you've seen?
Yeah, I mean, considering he started from the back of the grid after the first few laps due to a spin out, I think, yeah, he's back up to P10, back in the points. I think he can keep going on from here. He can go to the end of the race on these tyres, so he should be able to get a few more positions, I think, before the end of the race. Hopefully. So let's see what happens.
Definitely so. We've got our eyes set on Honey Badger right now on the stream. He's currently trying to hunt down Mixilius Drama, but Mixilius seems to be okay in P1. So we're going to run through who we have right now. So we have Mixilius in P1. Here he is. Honey Badger in P2. We've seen him quite a bit. And then there's Nikos in P3, who's having a good time. Sayuza in P4. He's the first of the stoppers. And then his teammate Hamilton just behind him in P5. Sorry. Orchard David is in P6 and NR83 NR is in P7. Chopper is the first of the Ferraris in P8 ahead of Carlos GB, who's in P9. De Gort in P10 and Invader Zippo, the reserve driver, is in P11. Mark is ghosted and he should be, he hopefully will return. It might be that he's not able to return. That will be investigated after the race. And Netherlands has decided he doesn't want to continue with the race as well. Once again, reminder to all drivers, if you are racing in the series, please retire in the pit lane, as we do not want the issue with the ghost we're having right now. We had an early safety car, not sure what that was for Lindell retiring in the pit lane as he was hosting the lobby, where he retired, and don't know why that caused a safety car, but it just did as I go through puberty. Whew, take a long breath. Honey Badger in the pit lane. So I believe this is part of the race where we can probably start bringing out the talks about this weekend's coming Grand Prix. Who's your pick for pole position, AJ?
Oh, I think I'm going to have to go Lewis.
See, the undisputed king of Kota. Yeah.
Yeah. Pole for Lewis. Although I always love to see Lewis on pole. So, yeah,
to be fair, I just want Ocon and Leclerc to have good races.
Yeah. No, that's definitely true. I always like to see kind of Gasly having a good race. Gasly and Leclerc. I like seeing them have a good race.
I think, to be honest, with the fact that George Russell has got that seat in the Williams, we'll get onto that in a minute, I think at this point Ocon has reserved himself to saying, right, I don't think I'm getting a seat in Formula 1 next year.
Ocon's getting who's getting the second seat though?
We're not sure yet. There are 3 candidates. Obviously, Robert Kubica's name flies around everywhere. Ocon himself, maybe Sergey will stay with the team. I'm not sure. Sergey didn't do bad.
Depending on how much, I think, depending on how much Mercedes choose to give Williams. What have I just said? How much Mercedes cost for Williams?
Oh, Honey Badger!
To have that seat for next season.
What's that contact? Honey Badger just suddenly dropped down a load of positions.
Unless I don't think he has front wing damage. Maybe he's just been caught by a few people.
I think he's
just been into the pits, that's why.
Yeah. So, right now we're looking at Sayuza, who we're on board with. Is he trying to hunt down and pass Nikos? Nikos, who's coming up to lap Invader Zippo. Oh, down the inside at this corner, but not managing to get past Nikos, going, you could try, but I'm going to still be there. and Nikos just sliding in front of him, showing that he is still there. Oh, that's an opportune dive bomb, which has worked perfectly well for Sayuza, and doing a good job himself, showing where he is. Now going to go on board with Honey Badger himself. Is he going to try a similar move to what Sayuza just tried? It doesn't look like Nikos is able to catch up to Sayuza. Even with DRS, Sayuza just seems to have more power, especially on fresher tyres right now. As Mr. Bentley is starting to cough next to us. So Chopper is having to defend from Honey Badger. This should be a pretty simple move. The guy just came into the pit lane. The Dutchman pulls to the outside of the Briton. Is this going to be simple or not? Chopper is still there. Chopper's still there, and Carlos, is he going to be able to show in? But no! Honey Badger slides right up the inside.
Honey Badger, lovely move there, just flicking it right and all the way around the outside through the hairpin. Very nice move.
At this point, you'll hear Carlos GB coming on the radio going, "I'm quicker, let me through, I'm quicker." But no such luck for Carlos, the Spaniard, who is pushing like absolute crazy to try and pass his own teammate, but he can't do it right now. But yes, apparently Sorokin has been talking quite a lot about the 2019 Williams car, so that leads me to believe that he'll still be with Williams next season, which I think that'll be all right, because he proved his worth. For me, he proved his worth in Singapore when he was able to defend from Perez for that quite a number of laps.
And I think also Williams don't have a huge budget at the minute, but also they'd have to pay a premium for Ocon to go and sit in the car. So yeah, I think Sorokin will get it. It'd be interesting to see between between Ocon and Russell who would get the rub of the green, because of the fact that they met whoever ends up doing well from that may end up being Lewis's teammate for next season.
Yeah, that is quite an interesting talk as well. We haven't talked about that. I think when Lewis will retire from Formula 1, because I think Lewis and Sebastian have not got long left in Formula 1 at this rate.
I think Lewis will try for 7.
I don't think he'll try for...
Yeah. I think he'll match Schumacher, but I think longer than that, no.
I think he'll stop at 6, you know. Yep. I think he'll stop at 6 and go, you know what, I think 7's out of the reach. I think 6 is enough for me.
Yeah, I mean, I can see him... I mean, he's definitely got a 3-year contract. So, yeah, so it's next season, the season after that, and the season after that. So he's there until 2021. So if he wins the next 3 seasons, he will win 7.
Yeah.
So it's entirely possible that he could win 7, but I think going past 7, if he doesn't feel up to it, he doesn't feel up to it.
I personally, I wouldn't want to go more than 7. I think 7 would be cool, just to have like 5 drivers who won 7 championships just sat there next to Michael's name. But right now, on the subject of Ferrari, these two are having a fight. They've not managed to pass each other. But Charles Leclerc moving to Ferrari, is that what we think it is, where they're trying to build a monopoly around Charles before Sebastian retires? Maybe they know something that we don't.
It's very true, but we watched it with the same thing with Ricciardo, that Vettel just seemed to not find his groove, and Ricciardo did. So maybe Leclerc will have the same thing where he finds his groove against Lewis, and Sebastian just kind of falters again, as he has done for the past couple of seasons.
Yeah, I think, for a while I was thinking Sebastian's won the championship. Not this year, I think last year I was thinking that. But it seems that he just can't win a championship with Ferrari, and I think that's the thing. He's driving a Ferrari, he's got in his head that he's driving a Ferrari, he should be winning races, and he can't do it. Yeah. You know? Yeah,
no, it's definitely true. I think he's had a better chance this year, I've got to be honest.
Oh, definitely.
But in terms of what he says over the radio and how he acts when he's in the car, he seems to kind of like manage from the front, which isn't the best solution. And I don't think he trusts the team as much as he needs to. And I think that hounds him. It hounds him. Carlos GB getting it all wrong, going up through.
Whoa! Orchard David has just let Honey Badger through. Sorry to interrupt you, mate. But Orchard David, I think he locks up a little bit, and Honey Badger just like, you know what, I'll have that position. Snatch that back.
Honey Badger on the fresher, softer tyres as well. He's got a lot more speed than David now.
Seems that Fisherman Netherlands has just retired in the pit lane, which is helpful. Thank you for that, for rejoining the session and just retiring your car. That is very helpful. But you see,
Honey Badger weaving as well as Orchard David on the straight, so maybe they, maybe David just letting Honey Badger through and just saying thank you there.
Yeah. But anyway, right now you see NR83, NR trying to close up on the Gort. Who's quicker right now? NR's on fresher tyres, the Gort on 10-lap old medium tyres. Be interesting now. Look at Maxilius. He's done 21 laps on those medium tyres. Same as Nikos. Those guys are going very long on those tyres, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. 21 is a very long time. 24 out of 33. He hasn't got long to go. Is he going to try and go all the way to the end, or is he going to come in and put a set of the super softs on?
Hamilton's just lost the position to Honey Badger.
Oh wow!
Honey Badger is charging.
There's a bit of time between Honey Badger and Orchard David. So yeah, Hamilton must have made a mistake somewhere.
Definitely, because look who's trying to get it back now. Championship leader is trying to get past. Oh, he's
Hamilton's the pitch.
Front wing. So that
he's
is
got a
gonna.
Front wing problem, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's got lost an end plate on the left, so it seems that people are still losing end plates on the left, much like in GP2 we're having that issue. But here now we look at the American driver trying to pass the Gort knowing that he wants to pass everyone as well. This should be interesting. They're going to get ahead of Hamilton. Hamilton, I think, can just about try for the super soft tyres. If he's able to hold them out. In GP2 they couldn't, but here comes NR83 pulling to the outside. He's got his eyes on the prize, trying to pass Renault. And the Renault of the Gort is still there. They're still there. The Gort's feeding himself around the outside. Oh, sidepod glitch though. Punting the Renault out of it.
So you're getting up to the back and mixing this drama.
I've just been made aware of something, actually, mate.
What?
I've been made aware that apparently Fisherman took Hamilton out, according to Zippo, who is racing right now. He managed to get in. Look at Sayusa though. The tyres are finally fading on the Force India. They're finally fading.
I don't think he's going to be close enough this time round. Nicholas just getting a better run on him down the straight.
Definitely
obviously is. Full defending, using all that ERS that he saved up through the lap to make sure that you can't get him down the main straight. Nicholas defending for his life, but look at the amount of grip that Sayusa has over him.
Yeah, I think those tyres are done, you know.
All ends up. Yeah, I think I agree with you there. Nikos going for the same strategy, 8 seconds behind with 23 laps on his medium tyres. Maybe those guys are both planning on going all the way to the end.
Maybe it's just push as hard as you can, as fast as you can. Maybe maybe their tyres are just coming back and they're just not got enough power left.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Mixlis or Nikos decide to pit, because of the fact that they do have a bit of a gap back to them, back to the drivers behind them.
It is, and the Gort is still behind NR83. I still want to say NR88 because it sounds like a Star Wars droid, but he hasn't managed to get back past him yet. There's still a second between them, but look at that. Over a lap, it seems that the Greek driver is just quicker on the straights, just by a bit, but in the corners, is he gonna go? He's not gonna go the whole distance, is he?
I don't know at the minute. It looks like Nikos and Mixlis are both going to try it.
Here's the question though. Hamilton down in P10. He's pushing absolutely madly, trying to get back to the positions that he lost. Questionably right now, there's people defending Fisherman, saying that he didn't take him out. I'm not sure. We'll need to see footage. Hopefully there are footage and the stewards will be able to take a look at all of that. I personally want to have a nose. But here is Hamilton trying to get past the Gort. This should be a pretty easy move as he is on the freshest super soft tyres money can buy. DRS open on the Mercedes, closing up to the Renault with DRS open too.
Looking for a lovely double toe.
Lot of movement on the straight and he's gone! Oh dear! Oh! That was a lot of movement on the straight, and that, I think we're going to go straight to the stewards. It looked like NR was moving around, the Gort was trying to follow him, and just everyone moved to the wrong position for Hamilton, who is sat there, and you can tell he's frustrated. Look at that. With stunned silence as Hamilton sits there frustrated in his car, thinking no, he's got a 10-second penalty for exceeding track limits. Let's just keep an eye on what. Maybe he was just sat there composing his thoughts for a moment. He has been giving a penalty. I'm not sure what the stewards are making that penalty. To be honest, he did it to himself, and he's. I think that's a crash out for himself, and that's that is against the rules. From what I remember. See Zippo weaving to try and get Auto David to say thank you for letting him through. That's what you should really do. And let's just stick a finger up someone. Just going to stay on board with Zippo though for a moment to try and see if we see the stricken remains of a Mercedes. It looks like there are none right now. It looks like to be a despawn, so I'm not sure. It does seem there's the yellow flags.
Yeah, Zippo looking like he's going to get a point here.
Yeah, the reserve driver will be getting points for Williams.
Yeah.
NR83 is close to sorry, the Gort is close to the back of NR83, so he's pushing like mad to try and stay ahead of him, but the Gort is a fast driver and he knows that he wants to get past in the car. Number 6 has got his eyes on it. Hamilton's left for session angrily, I think this is to say the least, you know.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that.
But crashing yourself out is once again not okay. Obviously you can't comment on it, but from what I see it seems like you did. Yeah, I do agree with you, VSR Josh. The second and third tyres must have been way off the grip. As you see the Gort now finally making a move on NR83. That's the wrong driver, but NR83 trying to fight back. The American driver getting his eyes on the Britain, but the Gort just going, meh, no, I'm going to stay ahead. And that's okay. All okay. I do agree, though, that the tyres for second and third must be absolutely dead. They must be close to puncture territory at this rate.
Yeah, totally.
Let's have a nose at Nikos's tyres. No, actually, Nikos's ones look pretty alright. There's a line of wear on the left, but that's about it. So back up with NR83. It looks like he is going to try and close up to the Gort. The Gort doing 15 laps on those medium tyres, and yet still very quick. So in retrospect, right now, for all of the drivers who are not English, or of English time right now, I think that's mainly just Carlos and the two Greek drivers in second and third. It is currently 10:05 here in the evening for the British drivers and the people who are using British Standard Time versus them who are like an hour ahead or a few hours ahead. They must be absolutely they must be so tired right now, mustn't they?
Yeah, definitely.
Did you hear that?
I'm really tired.
I was going to say, you're starting to fall asleep with me. Let me get the taser up.
Yeah. yeah, definitely. The enthusiasm is waning at 10 o'clock.
To be fair, nothing will phase my enthusiasm except for when I'm sick, which happens quite a lot. But I'm still excited.
Yeah, definitely. How do you do it?
Lots of drugs and coffee. Don't do drugs, kids. Obviously, I don't do drugs. No, I'm just so excited to see racing drivers. And as I say many times, I'd either love to do this as a job, or I'd want to be designing helmets, or I'd want to be stroking fluffy kittens all day. One of the two. Mainly because I'm in a sailor asylum. I think this is why I'm having such a good time right now.
Fair play. Yeah, don't do drugs, kids. Just give them all to JB.
Alright, Mr. Bentley. That's your first actor's mayor. I'm sure Mr. Bentley is a character in Bob the Builder. I'm sure he is. I might text my mum and ask her.
Not mum. There was someone called Mr. Bentley, which was Walter Owen Bentley.
I'm going to Google it. Because we got time, I'm going to Google it.
But he was not called Bob the Builder. Or Bob the Bentley, or whatever you think he was.
Yeah, there is a character in Bob the Builder called Mr. Oh, hello. Sector 1, that's it. Oh, that's the grip gone and a puncher on Mixilus's car. I said it was close, and that's it.
No way.
On lap 33.
Nikos hasn't got one yet.
No, Nikos is in the best position.
He's on the same tyre as. He's done the same amount of wear as Nixon is, so let's see what happens to him as well.
I felt something was coming as soon as I opened up Google and started searching for Mr. Bentley. There was a character in Bob the Builder called Mr. Bentley.
Oh right,
and he was the mayor of or the assistant mayor of it.
Oh, and he's gone. Nikos is gone. I think he's got a puncture as well. Oh no, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't. He's let him through. I think at this point, seeing Mixilius getting one, he's must think, oh god, get in the pit lane. No, he doesn't. He's carrying on though.
Well, 28 laps on those tyres and going for another one.
By now I would have gone. If I'd seen the guy doing the same strategy as me have a puncher, I would have gone by now.
Yeah, totally.
Once again, try to keep the arguments as a minimum to the chat. Right now, we are pushing hard for lap 33 here as we're watching the Force India pull into pit lane. Devastation for the man whose debut. He's pushed too hard, too soon, too long on these tyres. And Force India are going to be banging their heads going, no, we were trying. And there'll be a new front wing as well. No new front wing, though. Super soft tyres. Is he going to try and go for the fastest man on track? I would too, you know. So lap 32 here as we're watching Sayuza come round to begin the final lap of the Grand Prix in America. They'd be waving the white flag. We're not in America. We're in Spain. He crosses the line to start the final lap of the Grand Prix and he's having a good time. I tell you what's a shout. If Nikos gets a puncher now, Orchard David will be on the podium. So Orchard David pushing his absolute hardest. Okay, Hamilton, I have to tell you, mate, if you have footage of that, please put it in the chat. Please send it to me or send it to one of the other admins and we will deal with it if that is confirming what I think it's confirmed. Orchard David now closing up on Nikos. He's pushing his absolute hardest. Nikos is still on the outside.
I'm amazed that Nikos is even defending at the minute. I'm amazed that he's even got a tyre that works.
This is absolutely... Whoa, look at the distance there. Once again, guys, please, if you have footage, please send it in. Do not argue in the stream chat. I'm trying to keep an eye on both battles right now. As you're seeing, Orchard David pull to the inside. Is that a puncher? Is that finally a puncher for... It is! His right rear's gone. The Haas has pushed too far.
Last lap.
Sayuza wins! Sayuza wins ahead of Honey Badger, who charged through the field after being basically last. There's Orchard David, a championship leader who's going to push his championship even higher now in P3. And I've got to say, Nikos' spin right at the end, that was terrifying.
Oh, he seems to lose it again. The Gort's coming as well. Is he going to lose it to the Gort? I think he might. The Gort's having trouble as well. I think he might just get 6th position.
It'd be interesting to see. I don't think Nikos will lose it though. No, I think Nikos has done enough to get 6th position, unless there's a line on the drag. No, Nikos has finished. He's in P6. And that's it. The winner of this Grand Prix in Spain is Sayuza, ahead of Honey Badger, ahead of Orchard David. Look at that. Sayuza's hands absolutely flailing. Sayuza already in the chat saying, no one says Dave is going to beat me again. There he is celebrating. This is a championship that is going to go on long. That race was absolutely brilliant. Three nationalities, 3 teams and 3 different engines on the podium tonight in the Premier Division of SpeedForce Racing. Look at that. An Irishman, a Dutchman and a Briton all on the podium. Gonna get through that because I don't want to see that. And there it is. confirmed. Well, right now, Souza in first position ahead of Honey Badger. Then was Orchard David and SFR Chopper. Carlos GB in P5 and Nikos right at the end with a puncher pushing too hard in P6. The Gort in P7 and Mixilus very similar in P8, not having any tyre left. NR 83 NR in P9 and Invader Zippo the reserve driver for Williams is scoring a point in P10. Outside of the points was Mark, who didn't rejoin after he left the session. I assume that was for either an emergency or something else. Hamilton, who, well, I think Hamilton is going to be seen by the stewards for something. For things with Fisherman Netherlands, who's also going to be seen by the stewards. Jay in P14, Orchard Stocks in P15, and Lee Nell, who didn't race because he was hosting the lobby. Whew.
Yeah, well managed race by Souza, taking home the win. And also taking home the fastest lap of the race as well.
It's very good.
Very well done.
So this has been the Premier Division of SpeedForce Racing. That was an absolutely brilliant race. And it was... I think that was possibly the best race I've commented on for a long time, and that was just fun from the start, wasn't it, AJ?
Yeah, no, that was a brilliant race. All the way from qualifying, the split strategies, and the different calls on what tyres that people are going to go on, even the longevity that people had on the medium tyres to go nearly 30 laps or over 30 laps. To see whether they could get a podium finish was definitely respectable, but unfortunate in terms of the tyres just popping very close to the end of the race.
It definitely was. Now, next week, obviously no confirmation whether AJ will be able to join us. We'll find out next week if he'll be joining us for Monaco. Obviously, we'll be starting the GP2 stream at 7:25 for the Monaco Grand Prix, which will be brilliant to see. What everyone does around the circuit of Monaco, an outdated circuit which is still going to be so much fun. But with all of that, this race has been absolutely fun, and I've had a pleasure to spend the night with AJ.
Yeah, thanks, man. You too.
Yeah, I'm going to untie you now, so I'm going to turn the stream off but untie you. So, until next week, I've been JB. Once again, thank you to AJ, and we will see you next week. Remember to keep your eye on the Facebook page for any news regarding the racing and anything. And if you're interested in racing, just send the page a message, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Good night, guys.